All right, good afternoon, folks. Today I want to talk about silver, and this is typically a Santa Claus rally that a lot of folks miss or actually ignore because they're focused on the Santa Claus rally in the equity markets, which is fine, but it's also important to know that there are other Santa Claus rallies, if you will, that occur in other non-correlated markets such as the metals complex. And so we want to focus on silver, and this is a daily or continuous contract of silver. And this is a market that has displayed some of the most favorable bullish seasonal statistics going back almost 60 plus years. As you can see, the market has been making lower highs, breaking the trend line, and now we're at a period of indecision here as we head into 2020. In fact, if we take a Fibonacci retracement, we are probing around the 50% retracement level based on this swing high down to this swing low. The market feels like we could be gearing up for a rally heading into the end of the year and perhaps into February. In fact, this move from around this time period going into February historically makes in excess of its total annual return through this seasonal game. And a lot of people think that the seasonal rallies in the metals is due to people buying jewelry and so forth, and that is while that is true in the gold complex, silver is typically more fundamental driven from purchases in the manufacturing industry. So what we want to do is look to get into silver and position ourselves ahead of these industrial processors before we see the next leg higher. So to put this in further perspective, I have a chart here showing 5, 15, and 30-year historical price averages. Notice right here in mid to late December, right here is our key bottoming area, and you can see very clearly that based on 5, 15, and 30-year price averages, this leg carries into late January, early February for some very, very sizable gains. So what we did is we wanted to drill down even further and see if we could locate a potential trade, and we have a high-scoring bullish setup on silver, calling around a long date of around 1226 with an end date of around 1223. Now, there's a lot of varying factors. This is based on an 86% win rate over the last 7 years. Look at the gains over here. You can see that we have average gains all in the 4-digit areas. We had a small loser there in 2015 of around $1,300, but you can see the closed P&L every year for the last 7 years has produced around $52,000 profit per contract. So if we go back and look at a weekly chart, you'll notice here what we did last year while the equity market was selling off hard. You can see what we did here in 2017 going into 2018, in 2016 going into 2017, and 2015 going into 2016. So very reliable pattern. Historical seasonality tells us that this market could be going higher, and what we're watching for is really a breakout here above this level, about 1725, and we'll be looking for moves possibly up here to retest the 19.5 level. So we can do this by buying silver futures, buying mini silver futures, buying call options, selling put spreads, or participating in the equity market via the ETFs, SLV, and AGQ. So add that to Santa's wish list as a possible setup for you to consider heading into the holiday season. Hope that helps, and we'll see you on the next update.